Hey there, everyone. How are you doing today? So, hey, I wanted to record this video really before the live stream tomorrow. If you don't know, we're doing a live stream, purely Q&A for anybody interested in real estate investing on this channel, YouTube Live, 8 a.m. Pacific. And one of the things I wanted to do was just kind of share the good and the bad that's been going on in our business the last 100 days. I don't know, frustrated or disappointed with everything seems to be fear and hate, good versus evil. And that's just not how I've ever operated. I don't see the world in that black and white context. I know that's going to get some people pretty riled up. It's just, it's not how I've seen it. I'm now believing more and more that social media has unfortunately highlighted kind of aspects that maybe you and I would keep hidden if it wasn't there, and now is being magnified. And again, why I was thinking about sharing the good and bad of my business, and I just realized this. I'm going to talk about this. If you took any one of these aspects, you could make it and twist it any way you wanted. So we're going to do that. And we're going to show one side and then we're going to show the other. And again, I'm somebody in the middle. I don't believe life is ever good versus evil. I don't ever think it is, it ever should be about fear and hate. I've been hopeful my whole life. I've believed in hard work and sacrifice pays off. I believe America is still and will be the best country on the planet. But, let's go through it. So first and foremost, I have 4 tenants that have not paid rent for 3 months now. So in California, like much of the US, there are eviction stays of evictions or eviction, whatever, moratoriums or whatever there is. So you could hear me talk endlessly if I wanted to about 4 tenants who are not paying, who would normally be evicted. Oh, by the way, I'm in California, so it already takes 75 days. And now, Mr. Gavin Newsom, you're going to have these 4 tenants in my property for 6, 8, 10 months. Who knows? I mean, who knows how long it will be, because we're still in that area. I believe personally that the Constitution has contract law. And I believe these stays are, frankly, not legal. But we're in an interesting time, so I'm not pushing that. But again, you could see if I wanted to, I could talk endlessly about these 4 tenants. But in reality, I think 3 of them are rightly so directly impacted. They were in retail or restaurants, and they're trying. They're trying their darndest. They're working with property managers to get aid and things of that nature. Couple of them have said they can make partial payments. We have validated their situation, and I have flat out said no, don't take their money. Let's get to the other side of this. On that front, if I have 4 in that situation and 3 are impacted, that does leave 1 who I am convinced is playing the system. This one tenant has historically been late. They've been one of the 1% that's, 98% of my tenants are great. They pay on time. 1% needs to be reminded. And then 1% is always looking for an angle. So I know there's one tenant who is going to take this free time. And whenever this lets up, if it's August or December or January, they will leave. And they will ghost, and they will leave with a big balance, and they'll probably destroy the unit. Again, if I wanted to, I could fixate on that one individual, and it could just drive me bananas. But again, when we step back and we look at the other side of the coin, 96 to 96.5% of my tenants are paying rent. That's a little bit lower than normal, right? It's usually about 97.5 to 98. But it is interesting to see that most of the tenants are paying their rent, are either taking unemployment, paying the rent, or they're still employed, or whatnot. So again, you could see how there's two sides to everything. Next up, so something I do, as you all know by now, I'm sure, is I buy slumlord properties, and I go ahead and sell them. So we sold a pride of ownership rental, I don't know, let's call it 2 months ago. And unfortunately, the tenant that was in there, after paying rent for a couple of months, was impacted by this health scare and has been unemployed. They have not yet got their unemployment benefits. But what happened is the buyer, right, who bought it from me, is like, hey, what's the deal? And what I've done for them is I have given them a credit, or I've covered their mortgage, or not mortgage, the rent payment. I have made good on that. Why? Because I think that's the right thing to do. I picked that tenant, I did the credit check, I did the references, I put them in there. This health event comes up, and unfortunately they're impacted. Again, I could come into this and is saying, hey, sorry, sucker, not my problem, it's yours. But no, that's not the right thing to do. So I'm crediting that owner full rent. It's not crediting the tenant rent, because if they ever pay up, I will be reimbursed. I'm not counting on that. But again, every situation, you could look at this one way or another. Here's another one for you that's fun, is I sold a pride of ownership rental, and a couple months, and I'd owned this rental for like 2.5 years, right? So I've owned it a long time. And I sold it because somebody wanted a deal, so we made a deal. And what happened here is I guess it's been a month ago, they felt a water leak in the living room, right? Which is, near the kitchen, right? So we feared what's called a slab leak, right? It's where the water pipe, probably going to the kitchen, it could have been the bath, cracked, and over time was bubbling up, right? A pretty expensive issue. And again, this happened after we sold the house. So again, what I could have done and say, oh, sorry, I owned it 2.5 years, bad luck for you, blah, blah, blah. No. What we did is I said, you know what, let's pay to get a plumber in to do what's called a slab leak test, right? They basically guide over it and they look for a leak. They didn't find one. So lo and behold, we find out after investigating what's going on that their grandson was playing with the sprinklers outside and the window was open. Yes, the kid got the carpet wet. So in the end, I paid the slab leak because it was the right thing to do. The owner then did pay to get the carpet dried, and obviously the tenant is now paying that fee because it was a tenant-caused issue. So again, doing the right thing all the time is always the right thing to do. So again, really happy it wasn't a slab leak, because that could have been $8,000 to $10,000 fix. I've done a couple of those over the last 20 years. Not cheap. Many of you, if you watch this channel, realize that unfortunately one of our rentals burned down or had a fire, right? Basically, I don't know, it was a firehouse. And thankfully, everybody got out okay, no problems. They're already in a new place, so the tenant's all good. But, never good when you get a phone call from your property manager saying, I'm standing in the front yard and your house is being burned to the ground. That's not a good day. Again, you could fixate on that, think real estate's bad and all of these things, but no, we have insurance. And while it took 3.5 weeks to go through the process, we've gotten our funds as of 24 or 48 hours ago, I think 24 hours ago, and we're going to start the cleanup. And the house will be better than it was before the fire. Again, you could always fixate on one side or the other. It's why I try to stay in the middle. Next up, as many of you know, I have an office in Fresno that I'm investing my time and energy in called The Hub. I did everything I could to get people I know and trust, kind of single solopreneurs in there, because I thought that would be the best mix of folks. During this health crisis, I gave everybody in the office free rent because, again, I'm investing in these folks. Coming out of the health crisis, 3 of them, after getting a couple of months rent free, decided, you know what, I'm going to work from home. So again, 3 of the 7 offices were vacant. Again, that's okay. But again, I could fixate on that. People are disloyal and right, all of that stuff. If you choose to see bad news in everything, you're going to see bad news. I chose to see it as an opportunity to improve. And lo and behold, a week later, we're moving in a couple of folks that will help with not only being agents, but investors, wholesalers. One of them is even getting his lending license. So the hub will be stronger for it. Again, you could fixate on people not being disloyal, or you could focus on just improving and moving forward. So it's things to look at. On the other side, some good stuff that has happened. Again, 96% of my tenants are paying. Was able to raise $800,000 in private money during this health crisis. Pretty crazy, right? We closed 2 deals. We just closed another purchase today. Been a deal that we've been tracking for 3 months. It closed today, finally. The other one was the 3-house combo. So we purchased 2 properties in the last, gosh, what is that? 21 days? 18 days, something like that. We've sold 3 properties, so we've completed 3 flips. We actually have 1 more in escrow now that should close in the next 30 days. We've been able to help a lot of people on this channel. My real estate course is, it is the best thing I've done. I do think it should be taking off faster than it is, but it is growing. It's growing every week because people need confidence and belief. They need to believe in themselves. And it's fun to watch them look at the market, go, hey, where's the supply? What's going on? Things are too expensive. And, slow down. Hey, wait, this might be the time to learn versus buy. So a lot of stuff going on. And again, I wanted to create this video, just to tell you what's going on in our business. Good days, bad days, it happens. But really, it's about, it just seems that even on this channel, which is real estate oriented, we seem to all be investors. We all seem to have that lens. I still get hate comments. The left is doing this. The right is doing this. I don't live in those worlds. I don't live in absolutes. I do not see what's going on today is evil and good, left and right. And that's not how my brain works. I am in the middle, have voted split ticket multiple times. So I don't hear that stuff. And some of you don't like that. Some of you want me to go one way or the other. And I'm going to just keep deleting those comments. And the world needs more hope. The world needs more hope. You can look at any situation and in most cases see the good or bad. My house burned down. Okay, well, there's insurance. Well, I have some tenants not paying. Well, you know what? Let me help. After giving people 2 months free rent, they left me. Well, good. I can get better people. You had something you sold break. Well, fix it. You should. Oh, it's not broken. The tenant did something. I think we decide our own happiness. If we can look at something and see a brighter future, or hope as I call it, things will get better. If you look at something and see it as an evil, that other person is trying to do something to me, that's probably not a fun way to live. So in the end, lots of stuff going on. We've had some up days and down days in our business. But we're still here. We're still moving forward. One rental at a time is the way to get wealthy long term. It's not sexy. It's not quick money, but it does work. And I just want to wish you a happy, have a great day. Have a happy weekend. And I will see some of you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Take care. Bye.